Modern Warfare 3 is less than 6 months away from release, so with that in mind, I want to tell you the story of Modern Warfare 3 as I have discovered it. So first off, Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2019 have the exact same plot, on a mission-by-mission basis. I actually broke this down in full detail. So with that in mind, we already know what the plot of Modern Warfare 3 will be, because it will follow the exact same plot structure on a mission-by-mission basis. And on top of that, we know that Modern Warfare 3 was not supposed to be a full game release this year. It was originally intended to be a second-year DLC for Modern Warfare 2, and they had already started production on a Modern Warfare game releasing in 2025, which means that this game is going to act as an intermediate. It's not going to resolve all of the issues in the Modern Warfare series, but it's going to help build to this grand idea that the Modern Warfare series had in the original trilogy, and it's kind of building to in the new trilogy of a full World War III. So starting out with the first mission in Modern Warfare 3, it will follow the exact same plot structure as Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2019 and the exact same layout. The mission will start with Task Force 141 infilling from a helicopter into a Russian extremist base, trying to capture and fight Vladimir Makarov, the main villain of Modern Warfare 3. After clearing out all of the enemies from the base, you discover that Makarov was not there, but what was there was the plans for his new deadly weapon, the Weapon Twist. In Modern Warfare 2019 and in Modern Warfare 2, in the very first mission of the game, there's a big weapon twist at the end of the mission that reveals something that you didn't know about the enemy that they have that they're intending to use against civilians or soft targets. And after finding Vladimir Makarov's new weapon, Task Force 141 discovers the plans for his new No Russian in Modern Warfare 3. And as a matter of fact, the events of No Russian in Modern Warfare 3 are taking place simultaneously to the events of the first mission of the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. We then cut back in time to an hour earlier, in Urzikstan, where the second mission will follow Alex and Farah as they slowly trail behind an Al-Qatala fighter, trying to track him back to an Al-Qatala base. This mission will be a kind of stealth mission, but it will eventually turn into a full firefight between Alex and Farah and the Al-Qatala members at their base. And after clearing out the entire base, Alex and Farah discover that Al-Qatala was actually the one who provided the hijackers for the new No Russian mission in Modern Warfare 3. We then cut forward to the third mission, an hour forward in time, the events of No Russian. This will be the only mission in Modern Warfare 3 where you actually play as the villain. This mission will see you in a very stealth-based environment as you slowly build this gun across different parts of your plane and work your way to the cockpit to hijack the plane and crash it into a notable government building in Russia, thus causing outrage of the Russian people. But to make the effects of the No Russian events worse, the best target that you could use would be to attack the Russian president's house, throwing the entire Russian government into dismay and angering the people of Russia, all in an effort to start a World War III between Russia and the United States. And after the events of the No Russian mission, you jump forward in time to Task Force 141 getting briefed on what happened in No Russian. And the security footage reveals to Captain Price and Task Force 141 that English-speaking hijackers hijacked this Russian plane and used American lingo while doing so, thus kind of hinting to the Russians that the Americans were the ones responsible for this hijacking. And so without any delay, Task Force 141 jumps into action. They go to where the supposed planning of the events of No Russian took place in an effort to try to find information or try to find Makarov, the man who planned No Russian, in an effort to stop the events of World War III and help bring the true tyrant, the true villain, to justice. And upon attacking this location, you discover Russian extremists who are working for a private military company under the ownership of Vladimir Makarov. But as you progress further and further into this compound, you slowly start coming across Al-Qatala soldiers, which is out of place for a Russian private military company compound. And at the very end of the mission, you discover that Al-Qatala was actually the ones who supplied the fighters for No Russian, and this kind of brings together Alex and Farah and Task Force 141 to work together in Modern Warfare 3. We then see Task Force 141 reuniting with Alex and Farah in an effort to try to figure out what's going on and work together to stop this new combined threat. This is when Alex and Farah revealed that they might know the location of the Al-Qatala leader. So Task Force 141, Alex, and Farah head to this new location to try to capture the leader of Al-Qatala, who is revealed is likely going to be Hadir. This leads to Task Force 141 doing a combined assault with Alex and Farah and the Urzikstan rebellion forces to stop Al-Qatala once and for all, or so you believe. Upon clearing out the Al-Qatala base, you finally come across the leader of Al-Qatala's forces, Hadir Karim, otherwise known as Khalid al-Assad. And this is when we get this kind of deep-rooted emotional scene where Farah wants to kill Hadir for everything he's done, but they have to keep him alive because they need to get information information on why Al-Qatala, who generally hate Russians, is working with the Russians in the events of Modern Warfare 3. So you pick up Hadir and you take him back to a CIA safe house, rolling you into the 7th mission in Modern Warfare 3. And one thing I'd like to pop in and note real quick is that in Modern Warfare 2 and in Modern Warfare 2019, on the 6th and 7th missions of the game, you actually capture one of the leaders of the enemy forces, and that enemy leader gets free or is let go. So with that in mind, you can kind of predict where this story is going. After arriving at the safe house, you start to grill Hadir on why Al-Qatala is working with these Russian extremists. And this is when Hadir reveals the motivations for Al-Qatala. Al-Qatala made a deal with Vladimir Makarov. Vladimir Makarov promised that if they could help go the United States and Russia into a war, that Russia would be so distracted by this war they wouldn't attack the Middle East, and they would leave Al-Qatala be. Along with that, he promised that if he was able to take power of Russia in the events of this new world war, that he would completely ignore Al-Qatala as a whole and let them be and take control of their own country. And this gives Al-Qatala two very good reasons why they should help Vladimir Makarov. As you slowly start to get this information out of Hadir, it's revealed that a group of Russian private military soldiers is moving to attack the safe house. And this is when you get into a really big fight with the Russian extremists on their way to try to recapture Hadir and set him free to be the leader of Al-Qatala. This mission sees you playing as Task Force 141, Alex and Farah, slowly trying to defend the safe house and slowly having to be pushed back further and further and further. And in the last moments of the mission, you try to escape with Hadir, but Hadir is recaptured by the Russian extremists, and in an effort to save the rest of Task Force 141, Alex and Farah, Captain Price sacrifices himself and tries to hold off the Russians so that they can make their escape. But Captain Price is not actually killed. He is just captured. And as Task Force 141 retreats, they start talking about what they learned from Hadir. And that's when they talk about the biggest bombshell that Hadir revealed when he was being interrogated. That the new weapon that Vladimir Makarov intends to use has already been smuggled into Mexico, thus bringing Los Alamos back into the story. And so with this in mind, Task Force 141 does not have enough time to get to the other side of the world and try to stop Al-Qatala and the Russian extremists, so they contact the one man in Mexico who can stop the Los Alamos cartel from smuggling this weapon over the border. We then flash cut over to Alejandro, a couple hours after the events of the ambush in Modern Warfare 3, and this mission will see Alejandro and Rudy using snipers to slowly pick off Los Alamos cartel members before trying to infiltrate the Los Alamos base. And after picking off a bunch of Los Alamos cartel members outside the base, Alejandro and Rudy slowly move their way into the base. They use stealth and try to pick off enemies as they move. They try to get into the base to find out what's going on and try to get more information on where this weapon is being moved to. And this is when it's revealed that the information about the weapon is not at the stronghold at all. But what is at the stronghold is the location of Valeria, El Nombre, the leader of the Los Alamos cartel. We then jump back over to Task Force 141, Alex and Farah, ready to fight, rearmed, and with a deep hatred towards Los Alamos cartel, Al-Qatala, and more importantly, the Russians. And we see Kate Laswell actually informing Task Force 141 about a location of a possible Russian extremist base in the Middle East in Urzikstan. And while there's not a lot of information that I can really put in here, but I can't actually predict the events of this mission, because this mission in its entirety, in the story and in the plot, is designed to help you build an animosity and deep hatred towards the main enemy of the game. In Modern Warfare 2019, this mission was Hometown, where you were playing as a young Farah and seeing all these war crimes committed by the Russian military. And in Modern Warfare 2, this is the mission where Al-Qatala is using landmines against civilians in the big chase sequence. And on top of this, you're trying to get back Kate Laswell. You're trying to set her free because she was captured by Al-Qatala. And the events of the mission in Modern Warfare 3, while we don't know what they are, will help kind of build Task Force 141's animosity and hatred towards the Russians and Al-Qatala. We then jump back over to Alejandro and Rudy alongside Mexican Special Forces, moving to the home of Valeria, El Nombre, in an effort to try to capture her and find out more intelligence on what this weapon is and where it's intended to be used. And this mission is the epitome of a massive firefight. There's multiple different firing sequences going on, you fight lots of enemies, and you slowly make your way up to the penthouse of this building where Valeria is held up trying to defend herself from the Mexican Special Forces. And after you capture her, you start grilling her, trying to get information that she knows about what the Russians or Al-Qatala have planned. And she reveals that she and the Los Alamos cartel were actually the ones responsible for transporting Captain Price after he got captured to a Russian gulag. This next mission sees Task Force 141 traveling to this Russian gulag to try to save Captain Price from being imprisoned. And then one thing to know about this mission is that in both Modern Warfare 2019 and in Modern Warfare 2, this is a big prison break mission. In Modern Warfare 2019, it's Farah breaking out of the Russian prison she was being held in since a child, and in Modern Warfare 2, this is the mission where you break Alejandro out of prison in Mexico. So in Modern Warfare 3, this mission sees you attacking a big Russian prison, a big Russian gulag, and you slowly fight your way through to reveal that Captain Price is still alive and you actually save him. And Captain Price tells Task Force 141 that Makarov reveals the reason that he hates Captain Price so much. Captain Price tried to kill Imran Zakhaev in the early 90s. He shot off his arm, actually. But not only that, after Imran Zakhaev died of cancer sometime before the events of Modern Warfare 2019, and after this, Victor tries to take over his father's plans to ensure that World War III really happens. And so we actually saw this scene in the Warzone cinematic, and this is where Captain Price throws Victor Zakhaev down the missile silo, and in doing so, kills him. And this is why Makarov hates Captain Price so much, so specifically. And one of the reasons he put him in this Russian gulag, because he wanted him to suffer. He didn't want him to die very quickly and not feel the pain that he had felt when Imran Zakhaev died and when Victor Zakhaev died. And so with all of this going on, there is a mounting concern that Russia and the United States are kind of building up their militaries, getting ready to fight each other, as Russia is blaming America for what happened, and America is trying to defend themselves, saying that they weren't responsible. But the evidence, supposedly, points towards America being the ones responsible for these events. And this next mission is kind of a stealth mission and also kind of an action mission. The mission starts off with Task Force 141 going back into the field with Captain Price. It's revealed that there's a location of a weapon somewhere in Urzikstan that's intended to go off. So Task Force 141, along with Alex and Farah, stealthily work their way through this Russian and Al-Qatala base, trying to stop the weapon from detonating in Urzikstan. And so after stopping this big weapon in Urzikstan, they actually learn the location of the second weapon that's actually being transported through Mexico on its way to the United States. So Task Force 141 jets across the world to meet with Alejandro, leaving Alex and Farah behind to kind of clean up the mess in Urzikstan. So Task Force 141 reunites with Alejandro in Mexico, and this mission is a big action mission. You slowly work your way through all the playable characters in Modern Warfare 3 in a big action fight sequence where you try to retake control of the weapon and completely disarm it from going off. And at the last possible second, after fighting through all these enemies, Task Force 141 and Alejandro completely defuse the weapon. They stop it from going off. And Task Force 141 begins to celebrate the fact that they stopped 2 weapons from detonating in the same day. And this is when Kate Lazel reveals to them that there was not 2 weapons, but 3. And a 3rd weapon has detonated in Russia. And this is the last moments of the Modern Warfare 3 campaign. In the final cutscene of Modern Warfare 3, we cut to a sequence where a Russian man is talking about the fact that Russia is mustering up their military for an invasion of the United States, and America is getting ready to defend themselves against a Russian invasion. And as the camera pans up upon this Russian man who is telling you all this information, it's revealed in the last couple seconds to be Vladimir Makarov. And then the scene cuts to black, and Modern Warfare 3 ends. And if you enjoyed this video, tell me down in the comments below why you enjoyed it and what are some of the theories you have. And if you want proof that Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 2019 have the exact same plot structure mission by mission, I'll include a link to a video I made right here. And until next time, I am IceBurgz, your Call of Duty informant. Stay frosty.